everybody. I am Mr. Expos here, and I have a special guest with me today. His name is Wisco Sin. A lot of you may know who Wisco Sin is, and there's been a lot of controversy over the last 6 or 7 months. Some things were said about Wisco Sin that were not true, and we're going to get to that. And hey, it's good to have you, Wisco. I'm glad I got in contact with you.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Expose. I appreciate this.
Hey, no problem, man. A lot of people right now are on the internet trying to figure out what side they're going to take, and with all the stuff with Chad Offbeat and the Ryan Upchurch situation. I'm sure you're aware of what's going on with that. I'm sure you're seeing that.
Yeah, I've noticed a little bit there. I've seen him address a lot of questions, and he's pretty evasive, ain't he?
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people may have forgotten, the whole ordeal that happened with, Ryan coming in the chat and making these false allegations against you. And people thought that it was just, oh, Wisco's making it up or that didn't happen. And then I saw recently that Chad said that he doesn't recall who you are. He doesn't know you. He doesn't remember anything. But I don't know. I've seen the evidence myself, and it looks like Chad does know who you are because, well, he was there at night when all that shit happened.
Yeah, he was sitting right next to Ryan, watching the screen with him, and feeding him information when we were just doing our show. And I had just gotten back from Illinois, and me and my son had gone and got a Tacoma. He was back from the Marines. Christian, shout out. And yeah, he started tripping out about that I went to Illinois because apparently that's too close to Adam Calhoun. So that started, I think, spiraling shit. And then I had under my name Wisco Sin, I always put like a funny thing, like most people have like their advertisements. I always put just goofy little sayings. So I put half tread left because my tires were at half tread. So I was just like half tread left. He thought that meant something. And I get on panel. I'm all excited, and here comes Church in chat, and he's saying all this shit, bad man on panel. And the only people that were on panel, I think at that time, were me, Farrell, and HB. So it's like, who are you talking about, me or Farrell?
I'm looking at the screenshot right now. It looks as if at the moment in time, Billy was on the panel, Jack Rabbit Slim.
Okay.
Smoke and Farrell, and then you came in as well shortly after that. This is this time frame I have. So
okay.
You came in because you were in a chat at first. You were in a chat talking. And
yes.
Now, if I ain't mistaken, wasn't it just not a few days prior to this event, you were on panel with Ryan?
Yeah. I made him crack up laughing because we were talking about chicks becoming witches, and I said, "Damn, anything to keep them out of the kitchen, huh?" And he started laughing at that, and I don't know. We had a lot of good times on panel with him. I was always excited to panel with him, and then like a few days later, it's like a completely different person showed up, started messing with our camp.
See, then that's the part that I didn't understand. Is you were just on the panel with him a few days prior to this happening. So it's not like he didn't know who you were. Like you said, he laughed at your joke that you inserted there, and he thought it was funny and got a chuckle out of it. And then a few days later, he spirals out of control and doesn't know who you are again, and thought you were talking in code.
Yeah. I think it was a mixture. If I had to guess, it seems like it was a mixture of him being sleep deprived and Chad playing fucking games behind the scenes. Because that guy obviously don't care about our community. He doesn't he doesn't want to know. If he doesn't know who I am, then he paid zero attention to Ryan's career. Then what kind of manager was he if he was sitting right next to him? allegedly. And now he doesn't know who anybody was or what he did or what parts of the activities he fucking planted in there, which I know he was a big part of that fucking. There's no way you could tell me he was helping further his career.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and pull that up, shall we? And let's take a look at that, because as I'm looking at it, there's a lot of familiar faces in the chat. A lot of people came through that night. Usually when Hickorybilly had Ryan come on, a lot of people would tune in because they were curious to see what was going on.
Right.
And I'm looking now, and it looks like there was almost over 100 people that.
Yeah, our chats would elevate from like 50 people up to like 100 and something when Ryan would pop by. You know, the community would kind of flood in, and it was always a little more elevated. Like I never tried to be drunk on camera with him, or I always tried to be professional, and I was a lot more reserved when Ryan was on. And here I am, just happy dad, just coming home with my kid.
Look, as you can see right here, under Wisco's name, the tag he was talking about is half dread left, like he was just saying. So let's go ahead and play this. At any point in time you need me to stop, just let me know.
Okay.
Yo, son, I know my rights. You can call whoever, you can tell them what you want, but that still won't change a thing. Cause you ain't got a want, you ain't got a reason, and I'ma smoke when you pull away. So roll on, son. 1 a.m. we hit a roadblock on County Road 32. I said, hi, my weed and your titties, girl, or I hope you brought your running shoes. He said, pull to the side while you're out so late, and son, you better have a good excuse. Because you smell like smoke, but I'll let you go. I said, sir, I'm just passing through. I still gotta hide the weed. I'll be damned if I go to jail for 3.5. No, sir, you ain't searching me. This ain't my first rodeo, son, I know my rights. You can call whoever, you can tell them what you want, but that still won't change a thing. Cause you ain't got a want, you ain't got a reason, and I'ma smoke when you pull away. So roll on, son. We've been riding the roads, getting stoned. We ain't seen the police all night long. So
there's my boy Christian.
I see Smokey on my left.
Oh, here he starts.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, look at this right here. So Ryan is in the chat, right? And he's already saying stuff, and we're seeing it scrolling by. And you know, he asked why he went to Illinois. He went to Illinois for what? A Tacoma. Now, does he not know that you're right in Wisconsin? You're not too far from
I'm
Illinois.
on the border. I'm on the border. I'm 25 minutes from the border.
So it's like Chad needs to maybe get his spying software a little bit updated, because I think they're outdated here. They're using 1980s technology or some shit.
Yeah, their MK Ultra program's a little outdated.
So we got Ryan Upchurch in here. He's coming in and he's asking all these questions because Wisco's already got his brain scrambled from him saying half dread left. Just with that, already had him kind of scrambled. So I just wanted to point that out. That's weird.
I see Smokey on my left, so my gas pedal hit the floor. I told my buddy how do we just eat as much as you can. He busted open a bag and put a couple buds in my hand. By the time he seen my eyes, I swear I was so high. He said, what the hell was y'all doing? I said, officer, I can't even lie, we had to hide the weed. I'll be damned if I go to jail for 3.5. No, son, I know my.
Now, I wanted to stop real quick, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm now pointing out right here. If you look, my mouth is that. If I don't think I can zoom in or anything. It says right here. Actually, I have settings for. If you look right here, it says this panel has a not good person on it.
Now
And then
this is where now so Smoke, Jack, Hickerbilly, and Farrell were already on panel, right? So I had just shown up, and then he says not a good person on panel, or you know. So I was kind of like, and he was questioning about the Tacoma before that. So now it's getting a little weird.
Yeah, he's already coming in here and he's already causing division. You know, you got a lot of diehard Free Squad people in the chat, and when he comes in saying there's not a good person on the panel, you know, everyone's going to start scrambling. And, you know, that's going to cause a lot of issues, not only with the chat, but the people on panel, because at that moment, these guys don't know who he's talking about.
You can call whoever, you can tell them what you want, but it still won't change a thing. 'Cause you ain't got a want and you ain't got a reason, and I'ma smoke when you pull away, so roll on, son.
Right here, he says, this panel has not good person on it. And then right down here, it says, I'm out, heats. So,
Yep, that's him and Chad right next to each other.
but and at this moment too, he's saying I'm out. He's really not leaving the chat. He's staying in the chat. He's wanting to see what everyone on the panel does and how they interact and how they respond to this, because he does come back in shortly after to stir up more trouble, and you guys will see it. Here it is.
He said, I'm out. Peace. What happened? Did I miss something in the chat?
No. He asked about Wisco going to get a truck, and then he said something about a dog groomer, and then he said he was out.
Hell yeah. Well, shit. Have a good night, bro.
Night, Church.
Shit. What else we got in here?
Well, earlier he asked Farrell to show his face, so that had happened.
Has that already came yet? I think that came after, didn't he? Or did he already do that first?
Motivated said, well, earlier he asked Farrell to show his face, so that was right before I think I got in. He was doing this shit to Farrell.
This is right before he got.
Might have been when we were on with Kelsey yet, but
Yeah, it's this night that he came in and was talking.
you can just tell they're coming in to plant division and blow up our show.
That's what I got.
And this was around the same time he started pushing Four Brothers on his Instagram. So I think they were coming in to grenade us, and they wanted Four Brothers to kind of take the spot. That's how it felt like to me.
He was talking about TikTok. Yeah, he is siding with Kelsey Lynn. You know. Yeah, look, let's go where you.
Appreciate you talking to us.
All right, man. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, have a good one, Kelsey. Appreciate it.
Bye.
You too.
Yeah, basically what I was
Wisco.
asking is like sometimes you go places and you get that weird vibe and you're like, damn, something's fucked up about this, you know? And I didn't know if she got any of those
Right.
vibes while she was there or anything, you know.
Right. Yeah. So I'm suggesting being drunk all the time. He's like, we're going to
Hey, you
stay.
got your crickets with you, Wisco.
Yeah, I'm that old. I'm almost 40. Gonna be 38 in a couple weeks. Yeah, I got a Marine. I got 5 kiddos.
And if you look right here in the chat as well, he's starting to go off on Trey Healy as well. He's saying Trey Healy, he's a dog groomer, right? Everyone knows that Trey Healy owns a dog grooming business. Nothing more. He's a family man, owns a business, and does music on the side. So I don't know where Ryan was trying to go with that, but at the end of the day, he's the one that went to Sasha's castle and not you guys. So
Appreciate that. Yeah, I've never been to Sausage Castle. I could say, like, as a person, I don't surround myself with people with Baphomet tattoos on them. People who make human pentagram bones, and I don't try to fuck with people to ruin their careers. Like, I don't have that influence. I don't have that kind of ability. But if I did, I would definitely tread carefully with it, even with half tread left.
right, and it's so funny that you got him all swirled out, half trail left. That's what kind of got his brain fried. He didn't know what to think when he said that.
He doesn't like when people get attention. I noticed that, like, period. Like, from anybody, like all the people he works with, right down to like the little guys. He likes to have control on the valve of what you get and don't get, right? It always feels like he's up to some shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where about you made him tear his camera. That was also a fucked up moment where he tried to force Marilyn to show his face.
So there he was on about jelly. So, you know, the whole time he's just always putting shit down to like cause trauma or whatever. The guy's just constant with it.
I don't see that. Too much time. Look for it. What happened is he said that he didn't know who Farrell was. He was street folk. And he demanded that Farrell turn his camera on and show who he was.
And he knows darn well who Street Soldiers is. He's paneled with all of us. He paneled with Dozer. He's paneled with the guy watched our show all the time.
I heard it.
Yeah, there he forces Farrell's face on over there.
From above, no refuge. The devil is alive. I give my life to God. Amen. Amen. Oh Lord, I pray. Amen. 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 Oh Lord, I pray. I just being the man that God made me. And I've been working all the time. It's getting a little aggravating. Gotta get the money for the babies.
You can see everybody freaking out in chat.
Like it don't stress me. These are my responsibilities. I'm the man of the house, but I got the devil breathing down my back. He told me that I'm not worth a damn man.
Allegedly, opinion 1. There's Chad.
Oh, say that again.
Look at allegedly opinion 1. Got a bad person on panel. That's Chad doing his shit right there. Down a few people.
Allegedly, opinion 1. That's Chad. You're thinking?
I think so. Look at got a bad person on panel. He's backing up Church's statements now.
Interesting.
I'd bet my bottom dollar allegedly opinion 1's Chad.
It's either Chad or it's Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Or it could even be Chelsea. It could be any.
Right.
But
allegedly,
yeah,
in my opinion. That's all they always say.
You know, true. It's very true.
Looking out for my soul. You can believe I learned my lesson. Watching the devil get exposed. Up in the church, listening to the reverend. I was in the rubble. Seen it all burn down. Ran into the devil. Told me I would never find love. Never let you. Even if you seek it from above, no refuge. The devil is alone. I gave my life to God. Amen. Amen. Oh Lord, I pray. Amen. 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 Oh Lord, I pray. I didn't come from the gutter. I had a great dad and a God-fearing mother. Grew up in a nice home with an older brother. So the devil started talking that was like no other. Put my heart in the Bible. Cleansed by the water, baptized in revival. Put my faith in the pages. God helped me disciple. Now it all makes sense. Everything for survival. And for his arrival, he sent me to my people. They'll spread the message. Be a leader and a teacher. Put my time in the church. Be a helper to my preacher. Little brother Banjo, yeah. Put me on a feature. Can I get a amen? I was in the rubble. Seen it all burn down. Ran into the devil. Told me I would never find love. Never let you. Even if you seek it from above, no refuge. The devil is alive. I gave my life to God. Amen. Amen. Oh Lord, I pray. Amen. 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 Oh Lord, I pray. Amen. If you're full of his love, raise him up. Can I get an amen? Lost to the way only God can save. I pray. Amen. Down on the knees, Lord, help us, please. Can I get an amen? His love is true, and it's all for you. Let me hear you praise. Amen. I was in the rubble. Seen it all burn down. Ran into the devil. Told me I would never find love. Never let you. Even if you seek it from above, no refuge. The devil is alive. I gave my life to God. Amen. Amen. Oh Lord, I pray. Amen. 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 Oh Lord, I pray. Amen.
There's me smiting the demon church right there.
If you look down here, this person that you pointed out, allegedly opinion one, is comment at the very bottom of the chat saying he mentioned Wisco and says something about someone bad on panel. You must have researched someone. But you mean Chad researched somebody.
Yep. And this is when Chad looked through my Facebook. I had no idea who he was and saw that I worked at a brewery and started telling Ryan behind the scenes. Now, there's a lot on this. He starts telling Ryan behind the scenes. We looked it up and you order, he must have chat GPT'd that back in the day you could order hits as like brewery kegs and shit like that. Like in the 1930s, 40s, it was a thing.
He probably just got done watching John Wick.
Yeah. Yeah. So here they are trying to create division in our podcast. Just a few episodes after the big one with Small, we had multiple nights with him. I mean, I think I was on panel with him 3 times.
Yeah, you guys just got done bringing Smo and church together, right?
Yep.
Our first time in years, if I'm mistaken.
And I had just done Amen for Banjo Cliff and Smo, their music video.
That's right. That's right.
That was a big moment for me. And things were starting to look up and up for opportunities for us and everything else. And then he pulls this shit right away.
Yeah, so it just seemed like it was definitely a targeted attack because, you know, if I'm mistaken, it seemed to me that Ryan and Hickory were, you know, were good friends and talk on daily. So, you know, for that to happen to Hickory, to see all this shit unfold and try to keep a composure, because you guys remember, he's live at the moment. All this is going down. This is a live streaming you're seeing that was live when all this shit happened. So Hickory has to keep a composure and try to, you know, he's not going to just blur out and say, oh, I'm texting Ryan right now. You could, but, you know, it's not an important matter for everyone else to know. But just seeing all this stuff, and it would surprise me that allegedly opinion one is someone associated to that whole ordeal. Farrell had to turn his camera.
Yeah, that pissed me off. That was the point I got mad.
That was a dope song.
Said something about someone bad. I'm confused as fuck.
Yeah, I sold that too.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Look at her, the vial.
Shit.
Deborah says Ryan just can't trust anybody right now. I can't blame him. It's the drugs, Deborah.
I don't really know why you think that we on the same level, cause you ain't no competition to us. Run around saying that you taking over streets, believe me, man, we see that you don't do much. Keep on capping for them till they ask what happened to him. I don't know, but we know we ain't gotta do much.
Oh,
And stuff will
138.
make you like not have no appetite at all,
RCB Entertainment.
and makes you feel sick. And I would eat a lot as a kid and not really gain much weight. Well, as I got older, I got off of it and I started to gain weight. Like, I'm at the biggest I've ever been in my life. Like, I'm at like 255, 6'3". So I'm at the biggest I've ever been in my life and the heaviest, but I don't feel sluggish or I don't feel like my weight's a problem. Of course, I can go to the gym and work out, and that would benefit everything.
Right.
And I do go to the gym and stuff and try to work out, at least try to tone myself. Yeah, you're right. Motivated, you're right. I do drink energy drinks, and they are horrible. I did buy some of that Rise coffee. I bought some off eBay the other day. I'm gonna try it. It's supposed to go in and clean out your just promote good gut health. It's the mushroom coffee with the I can't remember what the name the mushrooms are.
I got some rice coffee.
Yeah,
to
I
my
know
brother
what you're talking
smoke.
about.
It's good stuff.
Is it good stuff?
Yeah. Rice coffee works out pretty good.
Let's see. So, it looks to me as if Ryan has came back into the chat at this point. He's saying, subliminal shit to you guys. And Hickory Billy has jumped off the panel. He's still there, but he's turned his webcam off. And if I had to take a guess, he's probably on the phone with Shirk.
Yeah. Yeah, this was about the time I'd have to get Hickory Billy on to address that clearly. But from what I can remember, there was a lot of back chat going on now.
Hell yeah. Fellas, I'm out of here heading to work. Y'all have a great fucking night, and God bless
Yeah,
all
man.
y'all. And
You too. Smoke.
chat, y'all are dope, man. I want to say shout out to chat. Y'all are the best YouTube.
said chat,
y'all are the best
not
chat on
Chad.
YouTube. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
Y'all are awesome.
Yeah.
Just to clear that up.
Yep. So shout out chat, shout out guys. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna head to work and do my thing. So
All right, brother.
yep. Later,
Have a good
guys.
one, bro.
Smoke.
Don't work too hard, man.
I'm gonna try not to, but they ain't gonna catch me lacking.
No lacanisms.
No lackinisms. Good night, everybody.
Night, brother.
Yep. Night.
Hey, Pharaoh, can you turn your camera on, man?
This is where I get pissed.
In my truck, but until you get it.
No, you're straight.
God,
Didn't you have it on last night? I know I only popped in for a second last night.
Fucking. You had it on last night. Messing the
Yeah, I
audio.
thought so. Yeah, I thought so. It was just I saw something in the chat about fucking Farrell's the only one we've never seen his face, and I was like, well, we'll just shut that down.
I appreciate that.
My thing is, why the fuck does Ryan care what people look like? It seems like he's trying to profile people, which to me that seems like some Fed rat shit.
Yep.
Trying to get people to show their face so they can take a picture of his face and use their Fed software to scan people's face and see what kind of background they are. Because look, people don't know this. Well, actually, I take that back. A lot of people do know this. The ones that have been paying attention. Chad's wife, Chelsea, did work for dispatch at Cheatham County Police. So she worked in the dispatch at this time when all this is going on. So I don't know if she had access to the software of these capabilities to be able to scan people's face, get their biometrics, and to search a database. If he does have that kind of software, then he would have to obtain that from a black market source or a dark web source, because that's highly illegal for civilian use. It's only used for federal agents and police. So if he had the software to be able to do this, there's some red flags right there itself.
Got it.
Shit, yeah, go ahead and spin another song. I'm still here, but I'm doing 12 singing-isms at once.
Oh, I got
You
you,
wanna go ahead and
buddy.
spin
I
some
got
shit, Jack
no
Rabbit?
problem with that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you. Let's see what we got here. How about some haystack?
My motherfucking poor people. Yeah. The have-nots.
I got off pretty quick after that because I was just like,
It was dirty when they fucking. So I turned 18, I'm trying to be gone. Dead in the cemetery talking to a stone. Feeling so rolling some purple.
We ain't gonna play the pedophiles music, okay? I think like you said, you got off shortly after that, and I don't think Ryan came back in. And so after this,
yeah, this caused a huge division. Then after this, we took heat left and fucking right in general.
yeah, that's primarily what I wanted to show. That's 90% of what I wanted to show on here. And as you guys can see right here, this was the real Ryan Upchurch coming in here. As you can see, the wrench. And he also has the official check mark. So that's the real Ryan Upchurch account. People are going to come in and say, you know how Creek Squad is. These diehard cult fucks that are going to come on here and say, oh, that's not the real Ryan Upchurch. These guys think that. Okay, well, there's a check mark, dumb fucks, because it proves right there that it's the real Ryan Upchurch that was saying all of this.
Yeah, no, that was Ryan. We had and we'll unlock more of the episodes, I'm sure, but a few of them were locked up and vaulted up, and they're just getting unlocked again. So we can show like we have a long history with Ryan as a show. We promoted a lot. We defended him through a lot, and he just turned on us like that. And allegedly, in my opinion, Chad was right next to him in his ear the whole night, fucking with him, on top of him being paranoid. And that's my opinion. That's the way I saw it. That's from the evidence and conversations I've had. But I guess further from this, we'd have to talk to the other guys that were on panel and how they saw it, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. But so after all this transpired, was there ever a moment after all of this happened and the live ended that you wind up ever touching up with the guys, meeting up backstage or something to discuss what happened during this live?
Yeah, so we roundtabled after this, and I don't want to give away too much inside baseball, but we had some discussion about what the hell was going on. And there was a lot of talk about there being some guy that was in his ear that was bald and had a bunch of tattoos. And he was right next to him the whole night. So
Gotcha.
that's when I heard that, and I know that's been public information. Hickerbilly's talked about that. So yeah, no, I was mad as fuck about like the forcing. He asked Farrell to show his face earlier in the podcast, and then forcing Farrell to show his face and saying the bad man on panel thing, him tripping out about me. I just got my son back from the Marines. For 2 years he was gone. I was so excited, and I had a great night still. He wasn't going to ruin my life by any means, but he definitely fucked with our show after that. You know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
he tanked the community against us, and
Well,
that
and that's what I was trying to get is I wouldn't, I'm not trying to pry for previous information. I was just wanting to know if, like, after this happened, did you guys, like you said, you guys had a round table, and did Hickorybilly tell you that what was said, that he accused you of being a hitman, that was brought to your attention?
yeah, that got brought to my attention, and I just laughed. I was like, "That's ridiculous," you know. I mean, I didn't know. I'm like, "That's retarded." That's was my response. Is like, "This is retarded." Like we do all this good stuff for him, and for him to come into our team, and just before that, we had already had these big moments in our team where we had divides and we had to figure out who was good people, who was kind of playing games, and we have a solid crew there. Like every person on that panel is my brother for life, and these guys are awesome people in real life, and I'm a good person in real life, and none of us are bad people. And for him to do that shit, and you could see him trying to start shit with Trey Healy randomly.
Yeah,
Trey
I
Healy's
saw
a
that.
great man. I don't understand it at all. But this is the start of his bullshit, and this is what he does. He's done this to so many people, not just me, not just our panel. This guy
Let's just be
has a
honest.
track record of just doing this to people.
Let's just be honest here. If you were an actual hitman, you wouldn't be on the internet
No.
on a nightly basis showing your face.
Yeah, when do I have time to do hits when I'm at my house? For what were we doing? I was doing God, anywhere from an hour to 4 hours some nights, you
Yeah,
know.
because you were a big part of Hickorybilly Shit podcast. You were on almost nightly. You were a regular on there as a regular guest. You would stay on for hours, and you would hold it down for him. So if you were an actual hitman, you were one of the most talented hitmen in the world because you're able to do all this and still be on the internet at the same damn time.
You know, and it's not been easy, but since then, you know, I've gotten away from the internet and now I actually am a hitman. So I would like to thank Church for finding me a new avenue because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with my life, but thanks to him, I'm now a super huge successful hitman. I had to kill a spider the other day. My wife was screaming and I didn't know what was going on. There's a spider up there and I had to let him go. And I didn't even get paid for that hit, to be honest with you. It kind of
What
bums me out.
what beer did you have to order for that one?
What's that?
What
Oh,
beer
yeah.
did you?
Yeah, she had to order a spotted cow. I said, this is a
On it.
12 pack of spotted cow. Yep. And
Okay.
that'll get a spider killed.
So a 12-pack of spotted cow will get a spider completely ace and removed from the earth. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Now, if
Yep.
I ain't mistaken, I'm sure you're within the next couple of weeks, more episodes are going to get brought to light, and I will cover those because if I ain't mistaken, a few episodes after this is when Church is directly attacking you guys.
Yes.
And he came on and he was in the chat. And he was making fun of everybody on panel, talking shit about Jack Rabbit, about Smoke, about Hickorybilly, and I think you as well. And he was just going straight, just throwing jabs. And it's crazy to see him. He spun out, obviously. But I just now thought of something. And so we all know that Ryan can't set nothing up himself. He doesn't know anything about technology, none of that. He doesn't know how to put two-cycle engine oil in a fucking chainsaw. So he had Blu-ray doing everything for him on the tech side, which means if any kind of software was to be acquired, Blu-ray would have had to install that said software on his computer to give him access to pull up these whatever you use. I guess this software that can pull biometrics and scan in the nationwide database for criminals. So Blu-ray would have had to been the one to download said software to give him access to this, because he didn't do it himself.
No. No, he had, from my understanding, Blu-ray and Chad by his side about the entirety of all of this that we dealt with him. To the best of my knowledge, for almost a year, that those were the two by his side, because the Ripta Deerdorf stuff happened right at the beginning of the podcast, and they had their splits, and then this was sometime later. It was just Chad, Blu-ray, and Church on their little island, still starting shit. Poor guy was so fearful for his life and so distraught, but here he is fucking with us in our lives. And I know it's just the internet, and I know it's not a big deal to everybody, but like, we put a lot of time and effort into this podcast and care about it. And these guys can come through with a few fucking lines and just disrupt everything.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
it's not trolling. You're fucking destroying somebody, you know, like, the amount of damage they did after that was fucking, it sucked. We lost people that were good people. People got mad that we even talked against Church or defended ourselves. It was kind of a horrible thing to deal with. Am I okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Like, I'm
Well, not
happy
only
with my
that,
life, but
but there was, and at the same time, there was already a division amongst country rap. You know, you had people over there on the Redneck Rays side that was already going at you guys, and now, you know, with Hickorybilly being a known, you know, Creek Squad affiliate, you going live and playing Ryan's music, and you know, being a friend of Ryan's at the time, you know, to see Creek Squad be completely turned against him and you guys, that was just a planned strategic attack. And
yes,
it's sick. It's just, it's mind-blowing. And I'm glad we were able to think through this today and get your side of the story, because I feel like that's important that people get to hear your side, because you never got a chance to really talk about how that affected you and what this whole incident done for you. Because at this time, you were a big Ryan Upchurch fan.
I was bought in hook, line, sinker. Fell in love with his music catalog. Became a fan of him, and man, it was like the more work we did and the harder we worked, it was like we got punished for it. it's pretty weird. And we weren't in it for some payday or something. This was just like, we had fun. And we had a lot of fun. We were truly fan. I mean, this guy crushed us, man. Like, he crushed me. Like, I definitely, you could see it in my eyes that day. You could see, like, I'm reading the comments. I'm like, what is he doing to us right now? I can see it. I'm calculating, like you said, it's live. And you're like, what? How do we navigate this now?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Threw a big pipe bomb in your guys' entire night to cause division. And that's the only reason why he done it, because, you know, he was actively FaceTiming Hickorybilly behind the scenes while all this is going on, telling them a bunch of lies, saying that Wisco's a hitman, and this Arrow guy is a very weird guy. And I remember watching a clip that Hickorybilly had put up at one point in time, talking about how, you know, he said that everyone that night got targeted in some way, shape, or form. People that were on panel were targeted, and he had already made his decision on what he was going to do, because he could have just came in and said, hey, I'm not messing with this tonight. Y'all have a good one, but I just want to stop in and show love and support. And he could have been gone. But that's not what Ryan's going to do. If Ryan's going to intervene and try to, he saw that you guys were having a good time, good laughs. You know, Kelsey Lena just came up on panel about 35 minutes prior to that and was talking about her experience with Adam Calhoun just in time. And Ryan was in the chat talking and responding and all that. And then out of nowhere, something changed. All of a sudden now, Kelsey left the panel. What's Ryan going to do in the chat? He ain't got nothing else to say because all the big stuff that he wanted to hear just got said by somebody he doesn't even know. He didn't know who Kelsey Lynn was. Kelsey Lynn just dropped a bunch of previous information that it helped benefit him, saying that these people, all these allegations that he was spreading, saying that all these people on this other side are bad people in Nashville doing bad stuff. He didn't know anything about Kelsey, me, even Adam until this episode. So what did he have to do after that? Stir up fucking trouble.
Yeah, it was. And
I don't want to make it seem like that I'm justifying anything that he did. It's just sickening. But I think at this point, he was already deciding in his head that he was going to find a way to cause problems for Hitcherbilly. Tonight,
yeah,
that night was just step one.
yes, yep. It was like the first part of like you said, like a pipe bomb in the camp, and I appreciate you having me on, Mr. Expose. I appreciate this greatly. I'd love to talk about this some more, but I got my son here, so I'm gonna go play some football with him.
Yeah,
and I appreciate you very much for having me up.
I appreciate you stopping by, man, and getting in contact with me so we can put this, to rest. Because a lot of bad shit was said about you that isn't true. I'm glad we were able to come in here and get it straight now.
Appreciate you, Mr. Expose. You have a great day. Thank you,
You
sir.
too, buddy. Thank you. All right, let's see. Here we have it. That was Wisco Sin's side of the story. And I just wanted to put that up. And thank you guys for tuning in. And you guys can decide for yourself. I think the message looks very clear on what happened. And I think we're going to end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.